Hello, my name is Walter Wimberly, and I'm an assistant professor of computer science. Today I'm going to give you an answer that I got as a question during a student-teacher conference that I had. And I had a brand new student to our department, and he was asking, says, I've started to learn HTML, but I'm seeing so much being done with things like WordPress and Shopify. Do I need to really learn HTML? And this could be taken in a lot of different forms because in computer science and any type of technology-based degree, you're going to find things are rapidly changing, and things that you learned just a few years ago may not be relevant next week. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't go and study that stuff? No. Can you pick out what's going to no longer be relevant in 5 or 10 years? No, you probably can't. So do I get frustrated when I see things like, how can I stay relevant in an ever-changing technology field? And the answer is I don't. I simply work to change with it as well. And just to give you an example, I graduated with my bachelor's degree less than 25 years ago. When I was in school for my undergraduate degree, I received one class on web design. Now, that's not one semester-long class. That was a professor who said, you know, the internet's becoming more popular. I see this as not just something that's going to be done in technology fields, but more consumer fields. I think you should know a little bit about that. So I'm going to take one class out of our associated classes, and I want to teach you the real quick fundamentals of web design. Now, if you can think about how much content you can carry in a 50-minute class, you know that I did not get a lot of training in college. And in fact, I had already started to teach myself web design before then because I saw the same type of thing the professor did. I saw this as something that was going to be used by more and more people. Now, as the student was telling me this, he said, of course, he says, you know, I've done work with Shopify. I've seen a lot of people who do work with WordPress. And I said, you are absolutely correct. And you can do why should I bother learning this stuff? You can't do anything with it. He says, or I can tell you what I did. And that is, I also learned how to do WordPress and learned how to do WordPress better than the average person. And so I have a client just recently. It's a new nonprofit that's starting up as an example. I have another business client that I've been working with for a year or so now. And in both cases, they needed websites built. And so I built them in WordPress. Not because I couldn't build them in HTML, but because it was faster and therefore more cost effective for me to use WordPress. But one thing that I could do that a lot of people who just put together a quick website in WordPress is that I also worked on building plugins and customizing themes, and I had to have an understanding of those HTML concepts in order to be able to do that. I had to understand and know how to program in PHP and use those programming techniques to be able to do what I wanted to do. Because I was doing things that there weren't existing plugins, there weren't existing themes that could do it. So while WordPress and the existing things out there got me that good 80, maybe 85% of the way there, I had to take it from there up to 100%, and the only way I could do that was with my skills. So I never worry about skills becoming outdated or out of place. I work to always, number one, stay up to date myself and learn new technologies, learn new methodologies. Number two is I learn to take what I know and apply it to those new things. I can learn things faster, I can learn them better, and I can go further and do more with them because of that. In today's society, we're seeing a constant change, adding new programming languages, new methodologies, things that were not thought of 15 years ago, like apps on a mobile phone, are commonplace now. So we have to constantly be looking to update and address the way we work with things. And so we're constantly doing that. For my own program that I'm part of, I'm constantly looking at how do we improve our programs, the courses, the way we teach them. We don't teach courses where you have a central server, you log in and submit your code, in order to test it or to write your code through a command shell or something like that. We encourage students to use IDEs in order to get the best benefit and learn more about programming and debugging. We encourage our students to look at using frameworks to allow them to do more and do it faster while still building upon the base concepts that they have to know. By doing that, our students have a good ability to go out of college and start working as a software engineer if they need to, or if they want to go on a master's and further their education. Either way, they are better prepared for what the real world is going to handle them than someone who still does things like they did 20 years ago. That's because technology is constantly changing, and we need to be able to change with them as well.